We launch our Eclipse now. Okay, Eclipse, and then can we create a lab for today? File, new, Java projects. CSE114, S17, week 03, and lab underscore 1 for today. Okay, just follow your own naming convention. Okay, that's for today's project here, and say finish. Let's create a new class over here. Right click and say new, and then class over here. So now let's call it compare string values. Let's say compare, let's just compare strings to make it short. Remember, the convention for classes is you have to be capitalized for every word, right? Compare strings. Make sure you also have the main method here, so you can click on this box over here. Check the box, okay? And say finish. So now let's say this. Let's say I have two string values. String, for example, S1. Let's say you're trying to do assignment 2. If you're trying to do the rock, paper, scissors. If you get R for rock over here, and then if you have S2, somehow it's also rock. So now let's say player 1 plays rock and player 2 also plays rock. You want to compare them to see if they're the same. In which case it will be a tie, right? But how do we compare string values? So one thing you should know that wouldn't work is if you try system.out.println. Intuitively, you will simply do S1 equals S2. Okay, that's how we compare numbers. However, if you try this one here, let's make it a little bit more readable. So we can say string here, S1 equals S2, and plus the result of that. You might think it should be true. In fact, it's not. Let's see. If you look at that, it's actually false. Okay, the reason I need to explain after I talk about classes and objects in about maybe several weeks' time. So I'll postpone that discussion until then. But for now, I want to show you that how you can compare values of strings. Okay, somehow we have to use the equals method. So if you go to the assignment 2 instruction, you will see that one of the issue section there, I talk about how you can compare strings. I want to show you just one quick example. Okay, so now over here, you can have system.out.println. Okay, the way we do it is by using S1 dot equals. It has to be equal with S, equals. Okay, and then parentheses over here, and pass the other string over here. So one string with the other. Okay, S1 dot equals S2. And then you can also say S1 dot equals S2. Okay, that's how you compare two strings in Java properly. Somehow this will compare the contents of the string. And because now we know S1 contains one single character R, and S2 contains the same. So now we know that it should be true. If you try this one here, it's going to be true. Okay, so that's the correct way of doing it. But I will explain why it is the case maybe a bit later. It will involve more discussion about objects. Okay, let me do another one here just to show you. What about I say that the contents of S1 is actually just a single R in this quote. I can also do this. System.out.println. I can say S1 dot equals. So now I want to pass some strings inside the parentheses. I can say, for example, R. That's what I can do. Okay. So here I gotta escape the sequence here. Okay. This is just the output. Okay. I say plus over here. S1 dot equals. Equals. And then here I can say just a double string, double quote R. So here I'm trying to compare S1 here with this particular string literal to make sure they're equal. Okay, you might also find this useful for assignment 2. Okay, any question about this? As usual, I'm going to make the code available to you, so just in case you cannot type in time, that's okay. But the main message for this exercise here is, if you want to compare strings, values, you want to use dot equals rather than equal. Okay? Okay, if you have no questions, I'll move on to the next small exercise, and then I will give some exercise to you. I want to try out the logical operation we talked about this morning. So I talked about there were actually three logical operators. We have negation, conjunction, and also disjunction, right? Let's try them out to have a feel how we can use them. Okay? So let's try simple ones. Because we got a table over there, so we can try something here. So now let's just go back to the package explorer here, and then we can have a new class. Let's say right click, new, and then class. Okay, let's call that logical operations. Let's say, okay, logical operations here, and then let's put the main method here. Okay, and then finish. Let's try with conjunction disjunction maybe, because that's a little bit more complicated than negation. Let's say we have Boolean B1, okay, and Boolean B2. Okay, that's a B1 and B2. And now we want to do, let's say conjunction disjunction. Let's just try. Okay, so now first of all, let's say initially we have both being true. Okay, just for now. So the initial values for both Boolean variables are simply just true. Okay, so now let's try the following. If I say system.out.println, if I say b1 %, which is end, b2, okay, that's a message part. And now let's evaluate that. Okay, you can say b1 %, b2. Okay, that's what you can do. Okay, so you just have to, you know what, I'll make it a little bit easier for you to see. Okay, can we just declare another Boolean here? Let's call that end. Okay, it's assigned to b1 %, b2. And for here, you can just say end. So whatever is going to evaluate from b1 %, b2, we're going to assign that to end, which is another Boolean variable. Okay, that's what we talk about. Let's do the same for OR, disjunction. So we have Boolean here, OR is assigned to b1, vertical bar, b2. Okay, so now let's do another system.out.println. So b1, vertical bar, b2. And then OR. So now you can see that line number 11 and 12, we have a particular combination of b1 and b2. So in line number 11, b1 is true and b2 is true. And we know this from lines number 5 and 6, right? According to the table, if both are true, what about conjunction? True and true. That'll give you true, right? And for disjunction here, true or true will also give you true. Right? So both cases that'll give you true. Okay? Let's try that. That'll simply give you true for both. Okay? Let's play with this value a little bit. Remember I said before, the way to remember a conjunction is the only way to make it true is when both are true. That's the only way. The only way to make disjunction false is when both are false. Okay? What about I try true and false? Okay? Let's see what's going to happen here. So now let me just go to the next line here. Can I just reassign b1 to true still? Okay, the same value. B2 is false. So now we've got true and false. Okay. Can we also copy these two lines? Okay. We know already from these two lines, both are true, right? They print out. Now I would like to know for 17 and 18, what kind of values will we get? How about 17? Sui, yes, you said something? False, why? Yeah, it will be true if both are true. But now we know that B1, B2 is actually false. So one of them is false. So B1 and B2 will be false. Good. I agree. What about 18? Line number 18. True? June, why?
Because one is a 4, so one has to be true for it to be true.
Yeah, exactly. Because now we at least B1 is true. So B1 or B2 will be true. Okay? That's kind of how you can play with the logical conjunction disjunction. Okay? Okay, let's do that. And then B1. Oh, sorry. Something I forgot to reassign. My bad. Okay. You gotta say and is assigned, reassigned to B1 and B2. And or is assigned to B1 or B2. Okay? Very important, actually. I forgot. My bad. So now you can see that in line number 17, as Suying said, so now we got true and false, which will give you false. And for line number 18, as Jun said, you will get true or false, which will give you true. Right? So for Thursday's quiz, so make sure you kind of know how to manipulate the logical operations. But in the next exercise, I'll show you how you can use them in a useful program. But now I'll just play with them. So that's about it. Any questions for this? So you can try different combinations of B1 and B2. Okay? Let me give you one exercise to try very quickly. Let's say I introduce another variable, B3. Okay? Another one. Now let's say this. If I have Boolean B3 is assigned to just true. Okay? So now we have B1, B2, and B3. So we have B1, B2, and B3. And B3 we know that's true. Okay? And before B1 is actually true, and this is false. Okay? And I will put some expression on the board, and then put that into Java and print out the result. Okay? I want to know, how about this? B1 and B2. Or B1 and not B2. Let's say this. That's kind of like a more complicated compound Boolean expression, right? Let's try to understand this a little bit. So here you can see that we know that B1 is a primitive Boolean expression, right? It's a Boolean expression. B2 also. When you combine B1 and B2 using a conjunction operator, it's just another compound Boolean expression, right? So now B2 is a Boolean expression. When you apply the negation here, it becomes a bigger, like a compound Boolean expression. And this is another Boolean expression here. If you combine both, that would be just another Boolean expression. And now we should use another order. Okay? So now, first of all, could you please type this on the Eclipse? And don't run it yet. We're going to predict the result and then verify that it's really the case. Okay, I'm going to type it as well here. So you can say, you can just define another Boolean variable here. Let's say Boolean, for example, I'll just say B. Okay? And then we can type exactly what I said on the board there. B1 and B2. Or and B1 and not B2. Okay? Okay. Would that be, well, since we know it's a Boolean expression, the result would be either true or false. Which one should it be? True or false? I heard true. Okay, why don't we try? We know that B1 is true. B1 is true. We know that B2, well, I didn't use B3, that's fine, doesn't matter. B2 is actually false. And B2 here is false. Okay, just replace them by their current values. So now we know that B2 is false. So not false would be true. Okay? So this part here would be just true. True and true would be true. Okay? So now true and false would be false. Okay? And now false or true? True, right? Because one of them is actually true, right? So that would be true. So overall, it's going to be true. let's verify this. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of the manipulation you should really get familiar with. But you will see that you will practice that in the assignments. So now let's try this system.out.println. So you can simply just copy this expression here. You can do that. This would be B. Okay, if you do that, true. Okay, as we predicted. Okay. Okay, any question about manipulating a Boolean values using logical expressions? Yes.
Can you use the conjunct, the and two lines, or to compare like 3 or 4?
Compare.
Only for 2.
Oh, you mean
Can you put like B1 and B2 and B3?
Of course you can. Let's think about this. That's something I will talk about on Thursday after the quiz. So let's say if you write this, B1, this, B2, this, B3. Certainly you can. Okay, now let's now learn how the computer is going to read this. So there's something called associativity, which means how the computer is going to group the expression here. If we have the same operators, we're going to group from left to right, which means it is as if you write something like this. It's going to evaluate B1 and B2 first, whatever it is, either true or false, and then put a conjunction between the result and B3. Okay. That's what's going to happen. It's a little bit like this, right? Because before you can evaluate this disjunction here, you have to know what's the result for this conjunction and what's the result for this conjunction here, right? Similar idea. So to evaluate something that's complicated, you have to start with the basic units. Evaluate that and then combine the result together. Okay, so now I would like to have you try this exercise quickly. So this one's an easy one. So that's something we were supposed to do last week, but we were doing something else. So now I would say try problem 2 about BMI. How many of you have already completed BMI example? Okay, if you have, that's okay. So I'm gonna have the TA help me distribute the papers. Try that with about 5 or 10 minutes. It should be rather easy to complete. And then I'll go over a solution with you on the computer. And then we'll do another more challenging one.